Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations to the elect, you sincere brothers and sisters who are coming back to the Most High via the sacrifice made by his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, our mediator, our high priest, and our way back to the Father in these latter days, via the Holy Spirit, Rachakwadash, or Spirit Holy, that has been sent from on high, as we the watchmen, all right, watch, all right, and continuously pray for the Heavenly Father, all right, to bring back his only begotten Son. All right, this is another prophecy watch. All right, as we watch the prophecies, all right, and take, very, very, very great joy in the fact that the various things that have been prophesied are coming to pass in our day, as it says in the book, I believe, of 2 Thessalonians. Our testimony was believed among you in that day. In the Watchmen, all right, as it says here, all right, I typed in Watchmen. This is Isaiah 62:6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silence. And we're not going to keep silent. All right, let's look up the word watchman in the Hebrew. Okay, it says shamar. Okay, and a watchman is an observer, all right, one who observes, who watches, guard, okay, that gives heed, to keep, to have charge of, to keep, to guard, all right, keep watch and ward, to protect, save life, okay, that's the duty. Of course, the Most High is going to save us via Yahweh Shai. But before Yahweh Shai return, right, there will be a lot taking place, and the elect will be fixated, all right, on a particular doctrine, and ultimately they will watch as the watchmen, all right, would ultimately regard the things that are happening in the world, to watch, to wait for, to watch, observe, okay, to treasure up in memory, okay, to observe, to celebrate. We're celebrating these things coming to pass. Okay. And ultimately to be a guard. So the watchmen are the guards. And, we each have our duty through the Holy Spirit to observe, regard what's going on in the world, and report it to you. As the scriptures say, there will be rumors. Okay. Let's get that in the book of rumor. Okay, yeah. The book of Jeremiah 51 and 45. It says, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Yahweh. And how do you go out of the midst of her? Is repenting. All right, taking your mind off of the cares of this life, the cares of this world. I mean, we use this world, but we don't abuse it. Okay, but ultimately our expectation is a kingdom. We invest in the world to come and not this life. Okay, and the Lord is angry with this world. He's angry with Babylon the Great. He's angry with the rulers of this world and the way things are going, this wicked system. All right, and the iniquity of the Edomites and the rest of the ites who are as the scriptures say, why do the heathen rage? They're raging against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and the world is gone completely mad. So the Lord is angry, all right, but he's bound to his word as these things have to happen. It says, lest your heart, which is your mind, faint. Okay, because if you're too fixated on this world and what it has to offer in your future here, as this world fades away, and you didn't take heed to the prophecies, your mind is going to faint, and you're not going to be rooted, and you're going to make decisions, all right, that are antagonistic to salvation, and you're going to take that chip. So my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Yahweh, lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and then violence in the land, and ruler against ruler. And we're at that point where the rumors have led to violence in the land. All right, we're seeing ruler against ruler. All right, which is what? Wars and rumors of wars, civil unrest, division. Okay, the people have been duped into believing Donald Trump was the way, the truth and the light. But he's going to side with these billionaires and with these with this technocracy. And the elite have their plan, as we're going to get into. It says, therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment unto the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Now, let's get this in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. We always bring this out. 2nd Esdras, (13 and 37), it says, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. Because fire is coming into this world, especially Babylon the Great. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto me. So the Lord is coming back to rebuke all of these wicked inventions, you see, and the watchmen are watching and ultimately observing these things and bringing it out to you. We're not just doing these videos for our, to seem as though we're so great. We're doing these videos so that you can know and understand the times you're in, and know and understand that the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai are faithful and true. Jeremiah 6 and 17. I also will set watchmen over you, all right, saying, hearken unto the sound of the trumpet, but they said, we will not hearken. And then you have, all right, the blind watchman, as it says here in Isaiah 56 and 10, all right, it says, his watchmen are blind, they are all ignorant, they are all dumb dogs, they cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, and loving to slumber. They're not prophesying. Okay, they're dumb dogs. A dog is meant for the purpose of warning you, all right, to protect the house, okay, to, ultimately, if they hear something, they're barking. If they feel something and sense something that's coming up against your house, they're supposed to bark, all right. Well, the elect is the house. And here it is, you have these dumb dogs not barking, sleeping, lying down, and slumbering, marinating in this world. They are all greedy dogs which can never have enough, making money off of the ministry, doing weird things that don't make sense. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, meaning they're doing what the hell they want to do. Okay, sensual are they, having not the spirit, doing things that don't make sense, doing things to have the ministry blamed, boasting that they, could be saved by the law. All right, not fixating your understanding, all right, in the importance of Yahweh Shai's sacrifice and what it means to what we have going on right now. Boasting, right? No humility, can't take rebuke, right? Not prophesying, using this ministry to forward their own bellies and their own selves. They're all looking to their own way. Everyone for his gain. All right, whether it be for his monetary means or for his ego. They don't have the flock in mind with their actions, man. Okay? And again, as the scriptures say, many shall follow their pernicious ways. So there's going to be more people following false prophets that are what? Blind and ignorant, and that are dumb dogs. Why? Because they have more of a message toward the flesh. Okay? When you come with the true full message of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and prophesy the right way, okay, your own people in this world is going to come against you, man. Come, say they, I will fetch wine. Let's read this in the NLT. And we'll get into these articles. It says, come, say they, let's get some wine and have a party. Let's all get drunk. It's an Israelite party. Tomorrow we will do it again and have an even bigger party. They even say, well, there ain't going to be no Jacob's trouble. Okay, well, just keep living. All right, and all of those, vain, empty messages and all of that pride, we're going to see what it's going to do for you Israelites in the days to come. Now, what I wanted to start with, which the elder Apostle Gabar responded to a video done by the elder Rachaya Kwam from the GMS London camp. This is, as you can see here, personal carbon allowances, white paper, the UK recently. And all of these things at one point were a conspiracy theory, but we know extreme tyranny is coming down the pipe. As you saw, 2020 started off with, 2025, Salakia, started off with extreme fervency. Like the spirit has been heavy every day, okay, or even multiple times a day. There's friction, there's action, there's judgments, there's, things blowing up. Okay, the left hand, the powers that be, all right, they're being found out. Trudeau just resigned from being the prime minister in Canada. Trump is talking about making Canada the 51st, state. I mean, these devils are all over the place. The MAGA is already divided. Okay, the Trump is already, turning back on his promises. Elon Musk is turning back on his promises. Okay, and everything is shaping up, all right, to lead to tyranny. This is why all of these things are happening, because out of this chaos, they're going to bring an order. Okay, and you heard it, all right, from the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua first. A lot of people are catching on and bringing these things out, all right, but you brothers and sisters who have been watching, who are sincere, who's been at the forefront of pushing all of these prophecies through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Start with our apostles, bishops, and elders, and us who have entered into their labors, man, who have not switched, who have not sold out, okay, and who basically brought out, all right, the word, all right, directly and correctly. Didn't shift because of your emotions, right? Now, things that at one point were mocked as conspiracy theories, all right, we're starting to see that is happening, okay? And the devil, okay, as the scriptures say, the heathen are raging. The elites, as they put all of this confusion before you, they're moving forward with their plan, okay? So I'm going to play this, and Lord willing, you brothers and sisters are edified.
Completed a carbon credit system trial that sets a daily allowance for each person, a little cap on your ability to travel, purchase food, clothing, and even heat your home.
All right, let's start this over.
A carbon credit system trial that sets a daily allowance for each person.
A daily allowance for each person, a carbon emissions trial. Okay, because this is the agenda. This is where it's going. Okay, reducing your personal carbon footprint in the earth. And yes, all right, your carbon footprint will eventually be tied to your digital ID. All right, tied to your social credit score. All right, and they will have the ability to limit how much, all right, the quality of what you can have, how much you can have, how far you can travel. All right, and your ability to have a life on the earth. This is the kind of enslavement that the elites are planning. Okay? And this is not a joke. Okay, already when you're looking at particular menus, you're seeing this green, all right, carbon talking point. Okay, or you get a plane ticket. All right, on particular clothing, you're starting to see carbon numbers. All right, being tied to it. Okay, and sooner or later, all right, you're gonna start to see where the devil is going with this. Okay, reducing your personal carbon footprint.
A literal cap on your ability to travel, purchase food, clothing, and even heat your home.
Even heat your home now. Okay, getting into this. Okay, Biden quietly bans most gas-powered tankless water heaters. Okay, and a significant regulatory shift that took place quietly the day after Christmas. All right, there's a lot that took place. All right, from Christmas Eve going forward, because that was the point where the so-called Pope, down there and at the Vatican, opened some portals, which we know they only show you so much on camera, but we know there's all kind of sacrifices and enchantments, and that old serpent, all right, is getting busy in the earth. All right, there's all kind of spirits that have been let in. People are losing it. Frequencies may be turned up where people with that juice are losing it. People are driving crazy. Okay, and everywhere we look, we're starting to see it's just out of control, and it's only going to increase. Okay, the Biden administration finalized new sea rules. Okay, see that? Targeting natural gas powered instantaneous water heaters. See that? So when it's all said and done, what do they want? Okay, how you heat your home. Okay, the everything you use, the water, to be controlled by them. Okay, meaning, all right, at the time, an example of what went on in Britain during the lockdowns, is that ultimately people who had, these smart meters, all right, they controlled them. Okay, and if it's cold, if let's say it's 20 degrees outside, the heat can only go up to 60. All right, because of this climate agenda. Okay, the heat can only go up to 50. All right, because of this climate agenda. Okay, and people were freezing, pubs were shutting down. Right, because pubs being open. Okay, because pubs are a popular thing there. Pubs being open was antagonistic to their climate agenda. Okay, the Department of Energy, DOE, which traditionally issues a press release for such regulations, chose not to announce these changes in policy, raising eyebrows across various sectors. So, all right, while all of this confusion is going on, these are the types of things behind closed doors that they're doing, man. Okay. According to Rebuking, the new regulations aim to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, a move aligned with border climate, mitigation efforts. However, the regulations are set to remove approximately 40% of the current tankless water heater models from the market by 2029. All right, so these are things that they're putting in place for the future. All right, where they're going to save the earth by this particular plan, which it has everything to do with enslaving you. All right, imagine not being able to heat up your home, right? And not being because you don't have enough credits, all right, or because you've met a particular carbon emission limit for the month, okay, or warm or cool in your home, okay. They want all of the cars to be electric, okay. That way they can shut you down. Just imagine you're driving, and ultimately the Alexa voice tells you got to pull over, right? Because you can't go any further. You've met, you see, your carbon footprint output or whatever for this month, for this. Then go into the foods. This is why they're hoarding everything to themselves, man. To pretty much make themselves God. Okay, it says this shift is expected to force consumers to opt for either more expensive or less efficient alternatives. An industry analysis forecast that the average cost increase for new water heaters due to the regulations will be around $450. Damn. This price hike is poised to disproportionately affect low income and senior households. See that? Which that pretty much, that's you Jakes, man. But the all of the people are catching hell in this system. Okay? They don't give a damn, man. It's going to disproportionately affect the low income. See? And this man, let's get Isaiah the 10th chapter. Isaiah the 10th chapter, man. Wow. This man is the devil. You mean to tell me this ain't the man of sin? And they put all of this madness out there to take your focus off of what they're really doing, man. And it's working perfectly. But the elect are watching. Okay? And the Lord got a spirit on a lot of these people out here who are seeing these things, because we're living in a time where the man of sin is being revealed. So the Lord has a spirit, a Holy Spirit is upon his elect. All right, but there's a spirit on people to expose things and see things for what they are, because we're at his end. These elites are scrambling. Okay? The people who they set before you, it's not working. Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. Know that ultimately you depend on them. Okay, you force people into a position where they have to beg you. You see, for to loosen the squeeze. You see. So it says this price hike is poised to disproportionately affect low income and senior households, who are among the most reliant on the more affordable models currently targeted for phase out. See, they want to phase these models out because it's allowing people to, have too much control of how much, energy they use, which energy is sky high. You look at sometimes you don't even want to look at your bills, man. Meanwhile, the timing of these regulations is noteworthy, coming in the wake of President-elect Donald Trump's electoral victory over Kamala Harris. Trump has expressed intentions to roll back many of Biden's climate initiatives to bolster energy production and to stimulate economic growth. And Trump said a lot of things. But when it's all said and done, he's going to side with these technocrats. He's going to side with these billionaires, the elite, as he's already showing you. You got the Trumpsters arguing back and forth. All right, the MAGA is mad at Elon over the H-1B visas, which we'll go over that in another lesson, Lord willing. But the Donald Trump is going to show his horns. He's the devil, man. And Biden is doing all of this right before he gets out of office. Okay. And y'all think Trump is going to reverse all of this? No. Okay. So going back to this video.
They recently completed a carbon credit system trial that sets a daily allowance for each person, a literal cap on your ability to travel, purchase food, clothing, and even heat your home. All rationed under the guise of saving the planet.
All rationed under the guise of saving the planet. Have not we been telling you that? Have not we told you this?
Your daily carbon limit is capped at 40 kilograms of CO2, with food restricted to just 4 kilograms. So how does this translate to actual food? Well, according to the report, a packet of cheese accounts for 1.1 kilograms of CO2, over 25% of your daily allowance. Red meat, Forget it. If you spent your entire 4 kg allowance on steak, you'd get around 8 ounces of meat. While meat and dairy products have the highest carbon footprints, 2 slices of bread would account for just 3%, while a can of Coke just 4%. So basically, diabetes is on the menu. But don't worry, Big Pharma will have you covered, because medications and healthcare products will not be factored into your daily carbon limit. But here's where things get terrifying.
See, let's get the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. Revelation, the 6th chapter, in the 5th verse, it says, "And when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, Come and see. And I beheld a black horse," which we know black is symbolizing, hard times, dark times. Okay? And we're in those times. "And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand." All right. And we look up this word balances. Okay. He set himself up in a position where he controls all of the resources, but he's not just. Okay. So the word balances in the Greek is zygos. Okay. It says a yoke that is put on draught cattle, and you people are the cattle. Metaphorically used of a burden of bondage and that of slavery. Okay. Troublesome laws imposed on one. And these are the times we are living in. Okay. Okay. Unjust, as the scriptures say, shall the throne of iniquity. Let's get that. Psalms 94:20, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, that frame mischief by a law?" And this is wickedness, man. Okay. They gather themselves together against the souls of the righteous. All right. And condemn the innocent blood, because ultimately, when it's all said and done, it's going to be a temptation. They're going to use the goods and the resources of the earth. Okay. Food, heating, water, right? Cooling yourself, traveling, as a means to say you have to come up under this system if you want to do these things. And in that, all right, to save the planet, we're going to determine how far you can go and how much you can have. And that will be tied to your social credit score. Okay. They are trying to quantify and track carbon. Okay. And charge you for carbon, which is life. How much you breathe out, where you travel, what you eat. They even going as far as re-engineering cattle to fit this purpose, because the cattle the Lord made, they burp and fart too much, and it's heating up the earth. We've showed you these things, right? It's out there. It's not Gil Bates talking about re-engineering. Okay, the cow. See if we can look it up here. We can just look at the title. We ain't got to go into it, but for those of you who ain't saw it yet, to tackle sea change, he wants to juice cows to stop them from farting. Okay? Developing to inject millions of farting cows. How AI will help us to, you see it, modify cows to fight sea change, says, all right, this guy. You see what I'm saying? And you think that they're playing? You think that, well, these just a bunch of crazy niggas. They reading a bunch of articles. All right, this is all right. Well, keep living. And you already see that the food is changing. Let's go back here to Revelation, the 6th chapter. Okay. Let's read this again. "Shall the throne of iniquity," Psalms 94:20, "have fellowship with thee, that frameth mischief by law? They gather themselves together against the souls of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But Yahweh is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. He shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their wickedness. Yea, Yahweh our power shall cut them off, and they need to be cut off. Now, going back here to Revelation 6 and 5, we read that he had a pair of balances in his hand. Horse is symbolizing power. First, you had the red horse showing you who's at the forefront of this. Okay, well, first you had, it talks about the white horse, which symbolizes Yahweh Shai. This is what he's coming to conquer. Okay, Revelation 6 and 2, and I behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. This is what Yahweh Shai is coming to do, and this is what he's coming to overcome. All right, you had the red horse that had a great sword, all right, which brings what? Hard times to the earth in the form of this black horse, okay, where he sets up a system of enslavement via the resources of the earth. And I heard a voice, Revelation 6 and 6, I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and wine. So a measure of wheat for a penny. Now, reading that on face value, you'll think, oh, well, shit, you should get a penny. You know, and I got a penny, I'll go get some wheat. Nah, okay. Again, this is why we have to go into the original languages, man. Okay. A measure, okay. A measure is koinix, a dry measure containing 4 katile or 2, all right, to get to the point, or as much as would support a man of a moderate appetite for a day. Okay, so again, this is going into rationing. Okay, food rations, measuring out how much food you can have. Okay, point blank period. So imagine them telling you you can only have a measure of food. Okay, a measure of food. All right, and you can only get as much as moderate for a person of a moderate appetite. Now, what is a moderate appetite? Okay, it means you don't eat that much. Okay, the word moderate. Hey, these prophecies are on point, man, and we're living in the times where these things are coming to pass right before our very eyes. So we can't let these things slip. We got to continuously bring these things out. Okay, and if the message is, you know, starting to become redundant to you, hey, there's other videos. Average and amount, quality or degree. The quality is going to be low level as the food has all been hijacked. Ordinary, common, average. Okay, so imagine if you got a big family, you're going to have to split. Okay, as a matter of fact, in the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, and let's get this in the NLT. It says, let's see here. No, that ain't what I want. Hold up. Boom. This is what the Lord did to Jake, okay, when he judged him in the Babylonian captivity. Ezekiel, let's get it in the NLT. Ezekiel 4 and 16. It says, then he told me, son of man, I will make food very scarce in Jerusalem, and it will be weighed out with great care and eaten fearfully. The water will be rationed out drop by drop, and the people will drink it with dismay. See? And we're in Babylon the Great. So that which is then is now. Okay, a manufactured famine, lacking food and water. People will look at another in terror, and they will waste away under their punishment. You see? But you see the Lord said, and hurt not the oil and wine. We'll go back there. Let's put this back to the King James, see if there's any precepts to that. And these times are coming back. So all of the wide mouths and the mocking and the scoffing and hey, we'll see. Okay, we're gonna see in the very near future. Okay, who the Lord is with. Okay, point blank period, man. Let's see here. So. And this is that wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, man. See? So you're going to drink water by measure. Okay? And your food is everything's going to be rationed out to you. Let's go back here. So let's go back to what it says. Revelation 6:6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents the truth. So a measure of wheat. Okay, let's look at the word wheat. Cetos. Okay, corn, wheat, grain, symbolizing your food. Okay, for a penny. All right, denarion, which you may think is a penny. No. In ancient Rome, this represents containing 10. Okay, a Roman silver coin in New Testament time, as this is now the dollar, which the denarian, okay, was devalued. Just as the dollar is being devalued, you can look up the history of the denarius being devalued by them putting lesser metals with it. And there was also shrinkflation in ancient Rome, just like there's shrinkflation now, meaning ultimately you're paying more for less product. Okay? And not only is it less in the amount, it's less in quality. These are the times we're living in. Okay? So just to get to the point, from a parable of the laborers, it would seem that a denarius was the ordinary pay for a day's wages. So a day's wages was going to get you so much, all right, food. Okay. So again, it's going to take so much money to get a certain amount of food. And who will determine that? He who has the balances in his hand. And this has happened to Israel before. Okay. And it was prophesied. Let's get this in here in Leviticus 26:26 in the NLT. I will destroy your food supply so that 10 women will need only 1 oven to bake bread for their families. All right, imagine 10 women with 1 oven to cook food. All right. They will ration your food by weight. All right, Keyshawn, you get this little bit part. Day Maria, you get this. All right, Waniqua, you get this. Okay, Shaquita, you get this. All right, or even if it's the northern tribes, Maria, this is for you. Hosea, this is for you. Okay, Ephraim, this is for you. See? They will ration your food by weight. And though you have food to eat, you will not be satisfied. Why? Because of the quality of the food. Okay, remember, all right, but they've also been talking about, all right, the switching the food supply so that it fits the narrative of saving the earth and this sea agenda. Okay. Leading U.S. meat producer to focus on insects and bugs instead after partnering with the WEF. Okay. Anyone who doesn't want to eat the bugs is racist and anti-Sim. Nicolas Cage promotes eating bugs. All right. Europeans are now being force-fed bugs and pizza. pasta cookies without their consent. And when you look at these ingredients to these foods, man, we need Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? EU to force feeding bugs to millions of citizens. So again, we don't know what the hell is in this food. And the scriptures say we eat our bread defiled. Okay, and a complete monster would get control of our food. So you're noticing you're not even being satisfied with the food you eat. It don't taste as good. It's not filling. It's nutrient deficient, right? Isaiah 3:1, the Lord of heaven's armies will take away from Jerusalem and Judah everything they depend on, every bit of bread and every drop of water. Okay? But again, as we read this, okay, the scripture said, all right, hurt not the oil and the wine. So while all of this is going on, the elect are going to have everything they need. Okay? In the time of famine, let's get that. I mean, there's various scriptures. But in the time of famine, we're going to be satisfied. Now, we may have to go particular points where we have to keep the faith and fast. Let's see here. They shall not be ashamed in an evil time. Psalms 37:19. They shall not be ashamed in an evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. This is provision, all right, promise for the elect. See, the scriptures say, Job 5:22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So there's going to be a cold spirit on the elect, man. Okay? So again, this is terrifying, but this is their plan.
They're not just suggesting it, they're testing it. Food manufacturers are already slapping carbon labels on their products. And let's not forget the food supply chain either. These policies directly threaten local farmers and producers as red meat gets penalized heavily, while synthetic lab-grown meat is being propped up as a solution. The fashion industry contributes approximately 10% of global carbon emissions, with much of the impact coming from production and transportation, which is now your problem. A single cotton t-shirt will cost you 2.1 kilograms of CO2. Synthetics will cost you much more, and if you like leather, just buy it now. But you can save those carbon credits by purchasing used clothes. So, how about travel? The average person burns through 2.3 kg per day going about their daily lives. However, if you ever see yourself going on vacation again, you're going to want to start biking or walking to work because a typical round trip via airplane from London to New York emits approximately 1,600 kilograms of CO2 per person.
Okay, and they're going to, again, this is all going to be tied to the MOTB system. Everything in the groundwork has been laid out. Okay, and a good video to watch on this is this one by the elder brother Rachayaquam, the MOT infrastructure. All right, carbon credits. All right, carbon footprint. Okay, it's a very, very good video where he's going into it. Okay. See if we can find a point where he's talking. Let's see what he's saying right here.
They'll be like, well, it's better off having an AI running things because the AI is not like people. Not knowing it's people that create the AI, you donut. You know what I mean? But that's why they're all of this is by design. The fashion industry produces way too much clothes for what people actually need. And that's why you have a sale every month. It used to be you had 2 sales a year. Now every month is a sale because there's so many seasons and it's actually detrimental to the planet. But they're doing it on purpose. It's order ab chaos. You cause chaos through overproduction to give you the cause to come in and absolutely control the production. And that's really what they want. If you read Agenda 2030 and with understanding, you would know that basically that's what it's all about. Reduce all production down to a bare minimum, and you give the people the bare minimum. You control everything that they have. You control everything they can and can't do, what they can buy and what they can sell. Right? This is the MOTB system.
Absolutely.
Transportation.
Okay, this is the MOTB system, man. Point blank, period, man. Okay? And I mean, it's deeper than just buying and selling, but I mean, control is what they want. All right? And we always read in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, where you're not going to be able to go into a city Okay, verse 16, verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So, I mean, it's gonna be crazy. But again, this is the plan. You see what I'm saying? And while they throwing all of this madness out there at you, little by little, they're bringing in this system. Okay, and this is going to be the solution to everything.
Equating to 80 days of your total carbon allowance under the PCA guidelines. Heating accounts for a significant share of household emissions, especially in colder climates, with the average household burning through 6 kg of CO2 per day. The recommended solution? Be cold. or fork over a bunch of money to install renewable energy sources in your home. There's also an allowance for leisure and entertainment. Streaming services, gaming, or internet usage at home or on your phone relies on data centers powered by electricity.
And if you look at, everything went from, vinyl records to, CDs to MP3s, waves to what? Streaming. Everything's what? Lended to you. Okay? The movies you watch, the music you listen to, is all of your playlists. It's all streaming. Okay? They have the ability to restrict that based upon what? All right, them owning it and you needing them. You no longer own music. You no longer own DVDs. You no longer own, VCR tapes. Now everything has went to streaming. Okay, all of your music for the most part. I still own CDs. I have some vinyl records, right? But if I'm listening to music, more than anything, I'm listening to what? All right, I'm streaming it. See, they've systematically brought us into this system. Okay, imagine all of your playlists you save. They tell you, well, boom, the only way to get access is to do this, is to do that. Okay, the mass majority of the people are gonna choose this world. They're gonna choose the flesh. They're gonna bow the knee for the purpose of having, their comforts, man.
So that will cost you. Going to a concert or a ball game? Well, that involves travel, lighting, and heating or cooling. Boom, pay the toll. You like gardening, DIY projects, or recreational sports? Those all involve resource consumption, and there's no free lunch in the credit card world. Now, you might be thinking, surely this is just a trial. Wrong. This isn't just being tested, it's being planned. In the UK white paper, they openly admit that their goal is to encourage behavior towards implementing the system. They're normalizing the idea that your lifestyle is subject to bureaucratic quotas handed down by governments that live in luxury while telling you to eat less meat. Surprisingly, here's where it gets dystopian. The system isn't about reducing emissions where it matters. The report itself acknowledges that 70% of carbon emissions come from sectors beyond individual control, including industry, exports, and military.
The industries that they created. Okay, when you look at the industrial revolutions, when you look at their airplanes and their jets and even their AI. Okay? So it's a big farce, man.
Operations. But instead of tackling those, they're coming after you. You see, this isn't about reducing carbon, it's about reducing you. Restricting how far you can travel, what you can eat, and ultimately, how much freedom you can enjoy. And once the system is linked to digital IDs and centralized banking, the consequences of exceeding your carbon limits are severe.
Right, because it's ultimately going to lead to this, right? Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. This ain't talking about, all right, rich nations, poor nations. Well, even if it was, what's in nations? People. Okay? Free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay? And if you take that charagma, you've put his name on you. Okay? You've been made and recreated in his image. Okay? And the number of his name, which is the 666. Okay? We always go into that chi-side stigma. All right, well, they will X out the anointed, all right, and implement a plan where they're going to merge man with machine by fusing the digital with the physical. And if once they get the physical merge with the digital, okay, they'll be able to track your every move, every blink, every thought. Okay? Every transaction. You hear about blockchain. Everything will be tracked, traced, okay, and you will be surveilled, all right, from the inside, all right, which will give us the ability to have a safer atmosphere, a safer environment. We'll know who's who, we'll know who has what, we'll know who's with us, who's for us, who's against us, okay? And we'll be able to live happily ever after. And as crazy as this sounds, people are fighting for this. People are going to fight for this to be implemented. But there's going to be a lot of people that rebel.
Overspend on travel or food this month, you could be locked out of making non-essential purchases. And if you think that's far-fetched, China's social credit system operates on the same principles: track, regulate, and punish. And this trial isn't happening in a vacuum. Similar proposals are being floated globally. The EU's Fit for 55 program is pushing personal carbon tracking. The World Economic Forum published reports in 2022 advocating for individual carbon quotas tied to digital IDs. Even the Canadian Climate Accountability Act includes language that promotes integrating personalized carbon targets. As for the typical political hypocrisy, the same elites pushing this nonsense aren't giving up their private jets or lavish lifestyles. In 2022 alone, 1,040 private jets landed in Davos for the WEF summit, just so billionaires could lecture the rest of us about cutting emissions and personal carbon tracking. So here's the truth. Personal carbon allowances won't stop climate change. They will, however, stop you from living freely. They'll hollow out the middle class, decimate local agriculture, and concentrate power in the hands of the global elite.
Right. It'll give them more power. Okay? And he'll be able to be God. They have a God complex.
They're testing this in the UK, but trust me, it's headed here too. And many of us know that this is the cornerstone of left-wing politics. Whether we're talking carbon tax, green slush funds, mandating electric vehicles, or net zero, it is their hill to die on. And as far as I can see,
carbon tax is life tax, meaning you're going to be taxed for living. All right, but again, once you have that charagma, there's no way around the tax. Okay?
it has very little to do with the climate and everything to do with control.
There you go. All right, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment, man. Okay? This is the book of Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is server to the lender. Well, how much more if they have the whole world to lend, and your only means of getting anything is to go through them. Okay? Whether it be food, your ability to travel, all right, your ability to eat, your ability to be entertained, your ability to do anything. It all be tied to this system where the lender is giving it to you. And it makes sense that they're putting, this big, fuss around carbon, because if you're able to control that, you win. As a matter of fact, let's listen to what this brother has to say about it, and we'll close it out.
Affected by the activity of the sun, right? Not by you using your car. But that's why it says a simple believer for every word. Now, why would they want to create a crisis around carbon? Because everything we do can be controlled through carbon, because everything requires energy, and pretty much all energy has some form of a connection to the carbon life cycle. All right, but a carbon life cycle is a cycle, and it's a balanced cycle. It balances itself out. But I always understood that if you wanted to control all human activity, the carbon cycle would be the way to do it, and that's exactly why they've picked it. Because if you tell someone, oh, we need to control carbon, that means everything you do up to and including breathing, just being alive, has to be controlled. Because every second that you're alive, you are contributing to the carbon footprint, carbon cycle. All right. So,
and the number centered around carbon is 6. See that? So it should start to, as you read the book of Revelation 13 and 16, it should start to make sense to you, all right, where we are. All right, all you have to do is just type it in. All right. Carbon in the 666. All right. He wants control over the flesh. He wants to create his own human. Okay. He's definitely going to take it there.
So that's why that scripture says the simple believeth every word, because they sit these people down in schools and they teach them about global warming and tell them about their carbon footprint and all this garbage. And if they had any real scientific understanding of what was going on, they'd straight away clock on that, hold on, this is BS. Because if there's more carbon dioxide in the air, then the balance of the situation would be that the plants would consume more carbon dioxide from the air, and also the ocean would absorb more carbon dioxide and balance the equation. Like, it automatically will always balance itself because it's a cycle. But Esau's gonna fix it, and his solution, as usual, is according to his own mechanizations, man. All right.
And this is we listen to his solution, and we'll continue to watch, pray, and hopefully you'll edify. Shalom.